Okay. Overly baggy pants that are way too big, a shirt with an overly designed skeleton on it, big ass shirts, dyed spiky hair, Monster Energy. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are talking about one of the greatest eras in fashion history. Probably one of the greatest eras, period. The early 2000s. I'm willing to bet my left ball weren't even invented back then. And if you were, you weren't even conscious to remember any of this. The 2000s was a fun, creative time for clothing. Proportions were just a myth. Nobody wore clothes that were proportionate to their body. Everything was either way too big or incredibly too small. Jeans in the 2000s were wide enough to fit 2 refrigerators in each leg. If you weren't constantly tripping over yourself, they weren't big enough. They were often paired with some sort of studded belt and or a pocket chain that reached all the way down to your feet. Sometimes the pants were worn backwards. When I first saw this, I thought it looked stupid, but now that I think about it, it's kind of smart. Like, imagine having your back pockets in the front. That would be crazy, bro. That's inventive. Do they have front pockets? They should invent front pockets. There was also always some type of design on the back, either Ed Hardy or anything with studs, studded crosses, studded hearts, studded wings, anything with studs. When it came to shoes, it was either white Air Forces brighter than the sun or Tim's big enough to kick a hole straight through someone's chest cavity. Honorable mention to DC shoes. They were like the size of mini fridges. I used to have some back in the day. They literally had my name on it, so how do I not own a pair? They were gray and green and white and blue and orange. They were so tough, bro. I wore them every single day. I might actually have to get some again. Wait, oh my goodness, I just remembered Heelys. Bro, Heelys were so tough. It was like a skateboard and a shoe in one. There was nothing cooler than seeing someone in the store or mall run full sprint and then glide on their feet. I remember wanting Heelys so bad, bro. Then I realized why I wouldn't be able to use them. Moving on to shirts. Big ass, humongous ass, ginormous ass shirt. White shirt. Just get a big white tablecloth and that's basically it. Or NFL or NBA jerseys were all the rage. Again, also worn backwards. Proportions don't matter, bro. The bigger, the better. Definitely gotta make sure it has some type of skull or the Grim Reaper or some cartoon character dressed in a 1960s gangster outfit. Can't forget about the accessories. Studs on everything. Studded belt, studded bracelet. Put studs on your mom. This also applies to spikes. You usually had pocket chains that dragged all the way down to the floor and about 1 million chains on at once. Band-aids for some reason. Yeah, I don't know why either. Bracelets that cut off the blood circulation to your arm going all the way up your shoulders. I have this one homie that has this spiked bracelet from Hot Topic. You know who you are. I'm talking about you. Bro, he put it on his hand one time, right? And he went to dap me up. And, you know, that's my homie. So, of course, I go for the dap up. But little to my knowledge, when the dap connects, my hand is like in excruciating pain. I look, and this nigga has the spiked bracelet on his hand. He put a hit out on me, bro. That shit is a weapon. They had some wild hairstyles, too. Hair spiked to all high heaven, dyed any color imaginable. Or a buzz cut with some crazy ass design in the back. There was truly no limit to what you could put on top of your head. Well, actually, if you were a man, it was extremely limited. You could either have the spiky blonde thing or a buzz cut or whatever this is. If you were a black man, you got bald fade or cone rolls. Nothing in between. Have it, ladies and gentlemen. Look back on one of the greatest eras in fashion history. We are currently experiencing a resurgence with 2000s fashion, with the return of baggy ass clothes and old brands coming back from the dead. It's crazy to see how these kids are obsessed with 2000s fashion, but weren't even alive to experience it firsthand. Anyways, that's my video. I hope you enjoyed. I miss making these kind of videos, bro. My mental state has been chopped cheese for the past 2 months, but I'm coming back slowly but surely, ready to make funny random ass videos on stuff that nobody watches. We're almost at 2K. Keep liking and subscribing and commenting and all that. Follow me on Instagram. I be posting on Instagram. Here's my Instagram. You can follow it on Instagram. Okay. New video soon. Okay, bye.